Employee engagement is at a historic low according to Gallup, and when employee engagement is low, that has a massive domino effect across the board. Productivity, profitability, retention, all negatively impacted. So to me, I've always felt, I think the data shows, engagement is the secret sauce. An engaged workforce is a good workforce. So I dove into this. I nerded out. And so I wanted to see what Gallup found.
Yeah.
In the workplace where I spend the majority of my life, most of us, I have to have 3 human needs met. And this is what Gallup found. People need to have a sense of meaning and purpose in their work. Does it have to be their dream job? No, but they've got to see a connection to something far greater than themselves. 2, they need to be recognized for their unique contribution. In other words, Armando, I saw what you did the other day and what you did for that customer and the review we got back from them. It was just absolutely textbook. You're crushing it. And then the 3rd is they want a relationship with their leader. Now, this is the one that kind of freaks a lot of people out. But folks, this is not my opinion. This is Gallup saying this. I would equate that relationship to one of a coach or a mentor, not a best friend. That's weird at best.
Yeah.
But we're talking about that relationship to where they feel cared for, known. Leaders have got to think about, wait a second, are the people on my team, are they having those core needs met? And when that is happening, here's what we know. You're going to have a higher rate of engagement. Now, that's the responsibility for the leader to know. But what does engagement need to look like from the employee standpoint?
Absolutely. So understanding the mission of the company and understand what you're bringing in and day out. Our recruiters tell candidates on the phone daily, this is not a job.
Yeah.
Every single person that works here is contributing towards our mission. So your team understanding that it's not a job, that they truly are valued and what they're doing matters to the mission. Also, understanding that your leader is there for you. A team member wants to know that, hey, I'm valued, I'm appreciated, what I'm doing makes a difference day in and day out.
And there are so many stressors in life. Money, family, kids, inflation.
My football team.
Your football team. We have a saying around here, we hire the whole team member. We don't want some segmented person to come in and just do a job. We want to know as a leader, I care about what's going on. I'm not in it just because you're a unit of production.
Right.
I care for you. Tell me what's going on outside of work. Talk to me about what's going on.
I love that. I got to add to this as you were saying that. I think that is so insightful. People don't want a better job.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to let that sit for a second because some of you are going, huh? But if you paid attention to what you just said, Leigh, people want a better life. And the job is a massive part of that better life. And so realizing that they aren't that unit of production, they're a person who has goals, dreams, that the job allows them the opportunity to get through or to accomplish. Game changer, I think.
I think that ties into 2 out of the 3 things that the Gallup poll survey was able to find out, right? People want to be able to make a contribution, be a part of something bigger than themselves.
Yeah.
And they want to have a relationship, feel cared for by their leader.
Yeah.
And that's really important when you have somebody under you that is relying on you to help them, yes, be better at their job, but we hire the whole person. And so the whole person is going to bring their entire self to work. And sometimes they're going to look at you as their coach, as their mentor, as their life coach, and not just their coach at work.
Yeah.
And so to the degree that we can do that, we will have a more engaged workforce. Because if you don't have an engaged workforce, that's what's causing all those problems you're having to deal with. Yeah. If you had an engaged, right? So we talked about turnover, we talked about all these other things that a lack of engagement causes. But one of the things it also causes is people issues. A lack of an engaged workforce is going to create more people issues for you to then have to deal with.
Exactly right. Creates a lot of tension in that you got people who are engaged and they're getting after it.
Yep.
And they can tell when this clown next to him, this dude, he's not bringing it. I'm bringing it. He's not bringing it. What's the problem there? And so let's talk about that. Quiet quitting. I mean, this is the poster description of disengagement.
That lack of engagement, right? It goes back to those three things. They don't feel they're a part of something bigger. They don't feel they have a great relationship with their boss, and they don't see where their contribution matters. So if we can address those three things, it helps address the quiet quitting. But really what you want, the ideal scenario is how can we get a team population where those quiet quitters are ousted, not by you, but by their peers, right? How do we create an environment at work where you as a leader are not the one expected to solve this problem, where we are able to call each other out and go, Ken, dude, I know you can do more. I know you can do more. Like, you're just slacking, man.
Yeah.
Like, I've been sitting next to you surfing the web for the last hour and a half.
Right.
Why do I have to run to my leader to then say to Ken, somebody told me you were surfing the web for an hour and a half. Right. Why can't I, as a team member, feel empowered to go to Ken and go, dude, I love you, but you're not here today.
Yeah.
And I need you, right? Because the more you do, the more I do, and the better we'll win together.
Right.
But we will also lose together.
Yeah.
I think there's been too much emphasis on quiet quitters. If we have quiet quitters and high performers, the hot term right now is quiet quitting, but what are we doing about the high performers? I feel like sometimes it's really easy to do to spend too much time focusing on the quiet quitters versus the high performers. Eventually, the high performers may become quiet quitters if we don't engage with them, thank them, appreciate them, give them more, delegate to them. We've got to really focus on the high performers, not just the quiet quitters.
Yeah. All right, let's stay there. Let's stay there. What does that look like? How do we do that practically?
So Ken, you have two kids, right? Three.
Three.
So when you pay attention to only the one that's doing something wrong and not to the one that's doing something right, what will that kid that was doing everything right eventually do?
Well, you resent. It's a resentment, man.
After they stop resenting, they will eventually do something wrong because they want your attention. So
I don't know that adults are going to do that. I think a kid does that.
now I think adults do it too.
You think a high performer will do something wrong?
A high performer will likely leave you first before they do something wrong.
That's what I'm
because it's
saying.
not who they are.
Right.
But most of the time, they will start realizing that, hey, if I don't get any accolades or any recognition or any of your attention
Right.
by doing things right, then it doesn't matter.
Right.
You just created another quiet quitter.
Without question. Yeah.
And then they will do something wrong, right? So now they're doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
They're quiet quitting. They're still in the position. And then eventually they'll do the wrong thing because they still want your attention.
Right.
Again, it's really about that relationship with your
Yes,
leader. That's what
without
people
question.
want. So if they see your time and attention, energy, and effort going to the quiet quitter, you're kind of rewarding the quiet quitter
Yeah.
versus the high performer.
Yeah.
I also loved how you talked about the culture and everybody having a part of protecting and being involved in that culture. So if my peer isn't doing what they need to be able to do, I should be empowered to be able to say something directly to them. To be unclear is to be unkind. If I have an issue or someone beside me isn't doing their part, I have a relationship with them. So I'm going to say, hey, can we talk? And I'm going to pull them to the side and say, hey, I saw you do this. That's not okay. You know that it's not okay. And that doesn't mean I'm running to the boss. We're able to have that conversation, and that everybody is a part of protecting the culture and understanding the why and holding each other accountable. It doesn't only have to go down to the leader, because guess what? The leader's not going to be there every single time.
But I look at it as, if I've got an athletic team and I got captains on the team that are bought in, they're high performers.
Yep.
They believe, they want to win. I'm going to empower them to push everybody else. And it's that captain going, hey, you showed up 10 minutes late to our voluntary workout. You're not doing the reps. And I think that transitions to, though, and Leigh, I like what you said. I don't think we need to spend a lot of time on the quiet quitters, but I think we need to be making it very uncomfortable for them as it relates to positive challenges and everybody raising their level to where they self-select and go, I'm no longer just average. I think quiet quitting is just simply average. I mean, if you look at the technical definition of it, people are saying, look, I'm going to do my job. I'm going to do a good job, but I'm not going to go above and beyond. But I think that is just settling for average. And when we have a culture of excellence where we go, we're going to give our best, and our best is not a simple little, definition of the job. And I would just simply point out that when we can create an environment where we empower the high performers. They'll take care of the rest, because if you allow average performers, now this is tough stuff. They're going to hurt some feelings potentially here. But if you allow average to stay in, and the high performers will eventually go, I don't want to be here. You, the leader, will lose respect with the high performers, because they will eventually look at you and they will resent you because you are allowing this when I'm over here giving my best.
So for stepping on toes, Ken, I've never walked into any department or any company and asked the leaders to give me a top 5, bottom 5 list. Tell me your top 5 performers, your bottom 5 performers. And I've taken those lists and I've said, so if I walk into these bottom 5 and ask them how they're doing, they're going to say, I'm on a performance plan, or I'm about to lose my job, or man, I'm in trouble. They're going to say something like that, right? Because they're the bottom. They should know they're at the bottom. And you know what has happened 100% of the time, Ken? They don't know. Leadership feels they're the bottom, but they have not communicated that to those people. They have not set an expectation. They have not told them this is where you are.
Right.
Likewise, I have gone to the top 5. I've said, if I go to these people, will they go, hey, I'm on a short list to promotion. Hey, I'm going to stay here because they're thinking about me for the next level up. Oh, I'm going to stay here because I'm a high performer. If I go to those people, will they know they're high performers? What do you think the answer to that is? It's a little higher than on the bottom, but it's about 80%.
Not enough.
Right. So 80% of them don't know that they're on this short list. Only 20% of them know that they're on a list for promotion.
It's so sad to me.
If you want to keep them, it's extremely sad, right?
Yeah.
Because then it leads to what you were just talking about.
Yeah.
They see that these people are not good. Why do I stay here? Well, I know why I stay here, because I am not like them. I am on a short list for promotion.
Yes.
Those people that aren't doing anything are actually making me look good.
That's
and I am going to
exactly
get promoted.
That's exactly right.
And if we can communicate that to them,
that's exactly right.
Then we can keep
So
them.
this comes full circle based on what you just said. When a high performer doesn't know where they stand and know that they've got an opportunity for growth, they will eventually say, this is just a paycheck.
Right.
And I'm going to eventually be enticed by a better life somewhere else. They want to grow. They want to be a part of something that is bigger than themselves. We can't forget that. And when you talk about engagement, that is so vitally important. It's crucial. And this comes back to what you just said. I'm blown away by that. This is a lack of communication. Again, people want to know where they stand.
Can I take you back to your analogy of football?
I love it. I always talk football with you.
Hey, your captains know they're starting this Saturday, don't they?
They do.
Do your high performers know that they're your starters?
Well, on a good football team, absolutely. They know the depth chart. By the way, the depth chart is made very clear in the locker room and on the practice field.
What if you didn't? What if nobody on the football team knew who was starting?
I'm going to tell you what happened. You hit the transfer portal. I'm going to go somewhere where I'm valued and I got a chance to start. That's what's happened.
All right. There's your quiet quitter.
Yeah. This is absolutely right. Yeah. Yeah. They feel they've lost a sense of value. And they're like, why would I put in the extra effort?
Why should I? Why would I and why should I?
Yeah.
What's the reward for me?
And then you as a leader, it's all about what are you creating and then what are you allowing from your team and for yourself as a leader too.
Yeah. Wow. Love that. Well, listen, we could go on and on and on about this vital issue. I hope this conversation has provoked you to think and feel and act differently about this engagement process, because it is a battle, dare I say war, that you must win, and we're here to help you fight it because we know you can do it. Go to smartdollar.com for more great resources. We'll see you over there.